Okay, hello everyone. For this channeling, we will be doing for the goddess Muses. So, this is a channeling activation and empowerment session, an attunement session actually, that the Muses have actually instructed me to add along for this session. So, I'm not sure if all of you are acquainted with them. So these goddesses, there are actually 9 of them, and they all have really unique specializations. So I've actually am showing all of you, so there is the image all of you will be seeing. So there are 9 of them, and each of them have a specialization. History, comedy, love songs, epic writing, heroic poems, music, astronomy, and etc. And not only just all of these, so the goddess muses, they are really well known and actually very present here with incarnated souls that are actually here throughout the creation of the world throughout lifetime. So if any of you are acquainted with the epic writings of Homer, then you would be well aware that the Muses have greatly inspired Homer in his writings and many more of his works. So the Muses, they came forward with me working with Divine Source because they would want to help mainly in this channeling activation and empowerment to help you all intuitively connect with yourselves and engage your heart engagement. Each of us incarnated souls, we have our, we can say, inner desires and longings, because before we are feeling intuitively guided to pursue our purposes, our how we want to create our life, how we want to create our life and put it into action. We are actually wanting to follow our heart to do it. And more than often, we can encounter blockages, we can encounter frightening moments about feeling what is it that we are actually meant to do, what it is that divine source has placed us here to do, and so much more. And what do we actually love to do? Because the big thing is that if we don't love to do what we do, for example, in career, in work, which is a very big thing that most of us may have noticed it, is that we don't really feel happy at all. And the great thing to us in our realization here as incarnated souls is that happiness is such a big indicator in so much that we want to really create our life here on earth with source in these ways. So one way is that they are helping and they want to help in this way, and the second is also in return help you all to access all that you want and you loves much more, much more clearly and with clarity. They are saying a lot in this session will be working on this connection, bridging connections, attuning all of you so you can really get into your heart, your divine heart with divine source, and then so you have that connection, and then when you have that connection, you can really bring forth and align more deeply with that connection, because all of us, we don't really enjoy or love doing the same thing in our work, for example. So like for some people, you may enjoy and love working with animals and you will really want to do it for your entire lifetime. And although some of us may enjoy and love, animals, we don't really would feel happy, that inner happiness, to work throughout our lifetimes with animals in that way. And there is a difference with that, and it's really okay about this, because you may find that happiness flowing from the inside out to work with, in fashion, perhaps in the jewelry industry, in healing, or giving spiritual talks, mainly as a spiritual teacher, or being a teacher teaching in elementary school. There are so many things, and that's really okay. They are actually also saying, and the main focus is really to help in opening up your connection to your heart and accessing all of the inspirations you already have. And the big thing is that, because the muses are already present actually before we started this session, they are saying that they are a big source of inspiration to a lot of souls here, and they are actually one of the dear goddesses that are very active in helping souls, incarnated souls here, in inspiring you all in doing a lot of things. And inspiration is amazing. Is an amazing work. It's an amazing thing, because if you don't feel inspired about doing something, you really don't feel that passion. You really don't feel that kick of wanting to do it. And they say that's why they are here to also help you guys, to attune you guys, inspire you guys, and to help bring forth all of you into next chapter of your lives. Because all of you, divine source is telling me, is wanting to move on to the next chapter of your lives. No matter what that chapter is, but most of it I'm seeing is really about work, really about family, really about your life, really about yourself. And all of you, I feel that have been going through a lot of struggles and really wanting to push on this hurdle, on this obstacle, because most of you, Source is mentioning and sharing to me, is that you feel you feel you feel grateful wherever you are in your life at this time and going forwards, but then you feel, somehow you feel a struggle that you're pushing through within, and that's why it gets pretty hard and difficult. And that indicator of struggle, when you have this such of um, obstacle, it feels really hard to really want to put forth for what you really want to do, that your heart, you truly is guiding you, your higher self, divine source, your higher divine spiritual guides are guiding you to really do. And that's why mm, the goddess Muse, divine source, is really guiding through this journey. So we'll see. There are a lot of amazing things that they were sharing with me that we will be doing in this session. But some of it, they say that it would be best for me to get into the session. That would be much better as well, energetically wise. So this is a channeling, activation, and empowerment session, and I will be also guiding all of you with an attunement. So if you would like to join in for the session right now, so please take a seat, lay down, just get into a comfortable, relaxing place, and then take 3 deep breaths right now. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again, and then exhale again. And then inhale again, and then exhale again. Okay, so if you'd like to join in for this session, so you can also work with Divine Source, Divine Spirit, and your highest Divine Spiritual guides. So ask that Divine Source, Divine Spirit guide you with this in inviting the best Divine Spiritual guides in this session. And then I will be working with Source and the Goddess Muse and my divine spiritual guides in this session as well, opening a space and then calling in Source and your highest spiritual guides into this space. And then we will be starting the session soon. So, okay. So, okay, it's done. I'm helping to ensure that everyone's energetic bodies are balanced during this session. So we will start right now. So for this session, whenever that you're going to listen again, maybe after I've recorded this session, the energies are still pure and you will still be able to connect with the Goddess Muse, Divine Spirit together in this session. You can listen it again and again if you want to. It will really help to clear your energies again and boost you specifically for this activation and empowerment that we will be doing for you. So no worries about this. So I'll start right now. So the Goddess Muse is stepping forward and much more closer, so to me and to all of you. So they are actually sharing and saying not to worry, they are here as divine beings of light and love and as with divine source to help guide you all through this session. And they want to share is that they, with regards to souls whom they know that are searching for their purpose, searching for their place in the world, in place in life as well, that things can be so difficult and that you all actually have been trying to find a source of inspiration and a source of light within yourselves, your higher selves too, to what is it that you are being called to do, with divine source and also with the goddess muses, because they know, each of us incarnated souls here, what we long to do, our heart's calling, our heart's desires, what we really want to put forth and doing with source in this world, in creation, and how to really align to this, how to really unlock this as well. And the goddess's muse is saying that you putting forth your place in this world is a wonderful thing, and it's not meant to be seen as constriction placed by yourself, constriction that you may feel you placed by yourself, by others, by other people who may have want to place constriction upon you. Maybe, for example, to want to make you feel that you would want to, be a doctor, that you would be better being a doctor rather than your heart's calling. And that is very counterintuitive, right? They are saying right now. So I'm doing a channeling from them, and I'll let them continue because they are saying some of you may not be aware of this. So They're saying that it is very counterintuitive of this, and you at times would feel pretty disconnected, whether because you are in a place that you feel you should be a doctor, but then your heart's calling is telling you that it's not true, and that you are meant to be something more, something else. And the goddesses muse are saying that you may have felt and hoped that things may be a whole lot much better if you may have not gone through that phase, because it would lock up your skills, your powers, your abilities, your connection, your intuitive connection with all of your heart, all of you that's already there. And most of you seem to be very hard on yourselves, and and we would want to tell you not to be hard on yourselves. It's not easy to be here on earth as an incarnated soul and trying to learn, go through spiritual lessons, go through spiritual journeys on with your spiritual gifts, your abilities, and so much more. And when you be very hard on yourselves, one thing we want to let you know is that it can be a block for you to access your gifts and powers and abilities. So we will help you in this area to release this, because this has been we would say it really hard for most of you to really release and heal from this. Much of all of us, including Caroline, have gone through the phase that because you have been doing what you not love and enjoy doing, and you may have felt some sort of resentment through this process. So we will be going through a short healing of this after this session. And throughout the phase of your growth here on earth, so I'm continuing. So the goddess muses are showing me that they are actually guiding all of you right now. So sort of like dressing all of you up, trying to remind all of you, you divine souls, of what you love to do, who you truly are, and who you're not. All of us have been told who you are, but these may not be the divine truth of who you actually are. And they are all, the 9 of them are all gathered around each and every one of you and telling each of you divine messages, telling each of you so who you truly are. And I'm going to allow some time for this to happen, because they say that so much needs to be said, needs to be spoken to you on a divine level as well. So all of these are being taken place, I would say, in a higher plane, in a higher divine plane of existence, that they will be working on your energy bodies and you as a divine soul in this session. So they are actually talking with you on a soul level, with your spiritual guides, your divine spiritual guides and divine source during this session right now. And it will be a very powerful energetic activation tool, as I'll be energetically activating what they are sending to all of you, messages, guidance about who you truly are, about who you sort of. I'm hearing one person who joined in this session say who you're meant to be. And yeah, it's true. more than often we felt, obliged to follow other people's wishes, other people's guidance who um, may not be right for us, may not be the best for us. And we would realize that because we aren't really happy of what we are doing, of what we are actually, even in relationships. So they really are helping a lot right now with connection with you at a deeper level, and really helping all of you to break free from that, because some of us at the unconscious and the subconscious levels have some self-sabotaging, self-conflict that we may have, and obstacles. Yes, one person who's joining this session say obstacles, and I'm saying yes, obstacles, mainly that we all have, that blocks us up, and then we may not be really aware of it, but we would know it's an obstacle. So they are really talking to each of you right now. They're telling me that it's, really the best effective way to do this at the present moment before we go on to something else. So each of them are taking their time to talk to each of you guys, and then really recalibrating your senses. The senses that they are saying is more of your purpose sense that they are sharing with me. It's the sense of you being who you are, but then most of you guys not really clear, how you're going to do that, how you're going to take it. We would be by being, be who you are. It's a common saying. So we try to be who we truly are. But the next step forward, so how do we actually be who we truly are? This is one thing they are saying. Each and every of you whom are in this session and in the future is asking, and may have been asking. I'm seeing, with others in the past, and in the future as well. And how to be who you truly are. Like, I know to be who I truly am, but then how to do it? And that is like a lot of exasperation each of you have, and pretty frustrating is the word that they are saying. Very frustrated with this, and they are saying that there are some certain issues that they are going to help you all through this, and they will help with attuning your purpose sense with who you truly are, and really realigning it, because before the session started, they were sharing with me that most of you all, what I was seeing is more like the connection is pretty frayed. The connection with who you truly are is very frayed. So you all have a connection. So each of us always have a connection. A disconnection doesn't mean that you don't have a connection. You have a connection, but the connection that you're going through right now that they are showing me is more frayed. The best analogy that I know all of you may have a gist of what is frayed. When we have television cables, but throughout a prolonged period of using them, they can get frayed, exposed, and a lot of problems starts to happen. So that is what they are sharing, and wanting to just let you all know that it can lead to a feeling of disconnection. That's why most of you feel disconnected. But then they want all of you to know that there is a connection, and not to feel worried about this. It's just that it's frayed, and one reason is because of the feelings of resentment, how you all as we as souls can't really do better for ourselves, really being very hard on ourselves in this area. And this is more on the subconscious levels for most of you, and some of you are on the unconscious level, so that's why it can feel a little hard to work on ourselves and how to really realize how to be who we truly are as well. Usually the subconscious and unconscious levels, which Goddess Muses are also working right now to help you all with healing through talking with your souls, is that we may realize them as blockages, but we may not realize the cause of it, the triggers of it, and what might be the reason of it. And we may get the hints of it here and there, but mainly someone is asking me in the session, hints, I got hints of it, and Sas wants me to share with you and the others, is that these hints, most of it is coming from, I'm hearing, you tuning in, and then also mainly it's from your guides. So mainly I would say for most of you it's a lot of from your guides, because it's pretty hard for us to tune in to our unconscious level, and subconscious as well. So right now the goddess muse have done a lot of the speaking with you all, and they want to share is that an important thing for all of you to know is that you all don't lack in what you all can truly do as who you truly are, and not to see you as a divine soul separate from you as an incarnated soul, because that is not true. When you are incarnated here, there's a misconception with what incarnated means, and when this happens, when they're saying divine soul and incarnated soul, most of the time there is a disconnection with it. And by that, they are saying that there is a separation and an isolation when most people view, when as souls we are incarnated here as a separation, energetically in connection with source, in a connection as well with yourself and with who you truly are. So they say when that happens, it poses a lot of issues and problems, and so they are helping to reach the connections and reminding you through this guidance and advice is what they really hope it will bring the message and conscious awareness to all of you. So from what I know and what I see, is energetic level when you are incarnated here is a very different thing. So with divine incarnation, with divine source, when you're incarnated here, you are not the energetically, so the energy bodies and energetically, you are not separated and isolated from source, but we would see ourselves, the better analogy I would say is, if any of you have studied biology, you would notice that when we look through a microscope, it's each cells are individual. So I'm seeing like this, it's like individual persons separated from source, so not really having really a full-on energetic connection with divine source and with your divine self, which is really who you truly are, the divine self of who you are. So when that happened, it's the muses are saying, it's like most of us would use this word. They're saying it will make more sense. The individual, who you are as an individual. And when that individual, when you are trying to emphasize on you as an individual, you emphasize on you as an isolating person. you as being individual and separated from another person, and that they're saying is a very better way of explanation, so it may clear what they are trying to share, what I'm trying to say. They are saying that you being an individual doesn't mean that you have to be isolated and separated from your divine self. And when that happens, creates a big problem, because who you truly are as created as a divine soul is that you were actually birthed in divine creation with your divine abilities, divine skills, divine powers, and were gifted by divine source. And when you see yourself as separated away from this divine self, because you feel like you as an incarnated soul here have to work yourself way up back to you as a divine self, because you don't see yourself as a divine self of who you are. If all of you are getting what I'm meaning, because I'm trying to explain, I'm seeing someone not really getting clearly what the muses and me I'm trying to say as individuals, and the cell analogy. So this is what they are trying to say as well, trying to get into, which can be a little complicated. So you are the source of who you truly are, which is true of who you are, is that you are divine soul incarnated here. But if you are seeing yourself as an ordinary soul, though you are incarnated and as from a divine soul, but you are separated and you're working up towards yourself, your true self, the divine soul, then there is a separation. And that's why things get very complicated. So the muses are saying that some of you just have to work through certain issues and it will get resolved. So through the channeling, activation, and empowerment, it will help really to clear things up and bridge things for yourself, so you have more connection to a lot of things that you're trying to figure it out. So the muses are just aligning everyone in a line right now, and they are trying to they are singing and dancing and getting everyone to do so. They're saying that singing and dancing, each of you has a song, so divine song that you will really want to bring it forward. But most of you are very tense, that the passion, so the other keyword when you want to really access your purpose is about passion. So if you really have that, not really feel passionate about doing certain things, you really don't feel like you want to move or you want to do anything at all. And singing and dancing is one thing that will help all of you digest this energetically. Because all of you, somehow they are showing me is very a lot of things that they are doing with all of you is that singing and dancing will help all of you digest it, and that all of you don't really feel too up to beat about things. So there can be an issue to after this work is done. So they are trying to do this work with all of you as well, and will help to break free of this tightness, this tenseness, so you have a much more better access with passion, with your creative flow. And they, as muses, are really all about creativity, the creative flow of source of you as well. That's what they are helping a lot. and the creative flow also of understanding who they are, because they are focusing on a few individuals about this, so you much better understand and know how they are helping you in this area of divine creative flow. So what they're doing of singing and dancing, they want me to share is that they are guiding all of you to access your heart center, to do this joyous singing and dancing, so you can really unlock and release the blockages and really, talk more with them, so you can really move out from that place that you may feel very stuck at, and move on a much better place after this session with the activations. And then they're saying that all of you have so much joy you want to express, to them, to others. And the key really is really just to express it. And what better way to express it than just to express it and not really care about what other people think, but in a kind way, and just expressing yourself. But the awareness that they are saying is from your heart. So having less restrictions on yourself, they're saying less restrictions and limitations, and trying to stop yourself as well. Try to best, they're saying, is to release all the restriction, shake it off, release all the restrictions that kept you where you are, and then really moving forth. And they're just moving each and every one of you, and guiding all of you to really take stock as to why they say guiding all of you to take stock to as to why you may have feel blocked or stuck with regards to unleashing your passion, unleashing from the heart. And in that regard, with this help from them in releasing, it will help to open up yourself, and allowing for you to engage with yourself much more better. And I'm seeing that they are guiding all of you to settle down right now, and they're hugging each and every one of you, and giving a kiss on the forehead, cheeks, and holding each of every one of your hands, and saying to all of you that they are there for you every moment, in the past, in the present, and in the future. And they want all of you to know that, setbacks that each and every one of you may have felt hindering all of you is not a means to bar you from moving forwards, and want you to forgive yourself for being very hard on yourself, and to really release this. And they are each giving each of you, I'm seeing energetically, some form of instruments to each of you to remind you as well as for you to play as well. And these instruments, they say, is to remind each of you, because they're saying that a reminder for each of you to open up, to really engage your creative, playful, fun, joyous side that is abundantful, that is really divinely infinite and abundantful, and connects with that divine creative flow that is already within you. And they're saying that each of you just really needs this reminder, needs this instrument to remind you of it, to remind you to have fun, to remind you to play, to remind you that passion has that joyous side, and you living a passionate, joyous life has that play and the fun in it. And these instruments is one way of reminding and helping to tap you into that area. So I'm just seeing that they're handing the instruments to each and every one of you and clearing your energies. And they want to right now do the attunement and the adjustment, the activation and empowerment, and the short healing session as well for all of you. So they're just settling all of you down on a chair, and they are blowing a breeze, a divine breeze over all of you. And this divine breeze cleanses and releases any negative thoughts, thinking, repetitive behaviors, any attachments and etc. Just releasing them. And then they're just settling your energies down. So doing energetic groundingness that they are also doing for this attunement. And they just sending the attunement right now. So I'll just wait for this. So they are each blessing each and every one of you with the attunement. And they're also doing the healing right now and activation, including empowerment too. So the healing they want me to talk about it is that they will be releasing and cleansing those bonds. So the obstacles that they were sharing with me just now, they feel more like a bond that hard to break free from. That they're just sharing with me. It felt more like a bond to me. So they are just showing me this, and they are helping to break free each and every one of you from this and releasing it. And they're saying that some of you need extra push. And the other bond, the obstacle I'm seeing is really a lot about attitudes, preconceptions and attitudes. So like societal culture, societal norms as well. I'm seeing the non-true ones. That's why they have felt like a blockage to you, to some of you. They felt like a block, and that's why you feel like you can't move forwards. Because what limits us feels like a block is that they actually are not the truth of who we are, and that we are actually divine souls incarnated here. And that's why it can also manifest as a block. And also spiritual lessons. Someone is saying to me that is in the session listening. So yes, so they wanted to point out those two in particular for the healing, and the latter that was pointed out, the second one, was pretty huge. So they want you to really be easy on yourself. Just really don't be hard on yourself is the key message they're saying. Just really release it. Release that hardness that you have been doing to yourself, and be kind to yourself. You know, there are some souls who have gone through a lot in the lifetimes here and have been very hard on yourself. And the key message is to be kind to yourself too as well, not just to others, but to yourself as well. And they're right now guiding all of you. So this is an activation more so on the alignment to better intuitively connect with yourself, to helping with this in particular. So they ask all of you to stand up, and they're just talking to each and every one of you. They are very beautiful muses. They actually look exactly like the picture that that's in the YouTube video. Yeah, they actually have, you know, wearing these beautiful dresses, Grecian dresses, and the sandals, and they are hearing from all of you that all of you are saying that, you know, you are all greatly inspired by them, that they are beautiful as well, and really, really just an inspiration in beauty, in artwork, and so much more. And they say thank you. And they're just guiding each and every one of you in various things. And activating a few people who have, you know, lack of self-confidence, a lack of self-esteem, a lack of the want to go for it as well. Some of them are saying, some of the muses, it doesn't, they're sharing, doesn't have to be, can be things that will help you through healing as well. They're saying it can be things that will help you through loving yourself. It doesn't have to be particularly about your purpose here in life, though they are helping this as well, but they are also helping in other areas, and they are helping to activate these to help you be inspired. So if, for example, goddess Clio, so her name is spelled Clio. She is saying that, for example, they all, actually not just her, but they all will be guiding some of you, for example, in looking at books, self-love books, eating healthy books, smoothie drinks, how to work out, and more, and etc. She's a very fun muse, and she says it's not very fixated on just on just books. She say for all of them muses actually, and she says follow your heart. And actually, after this session, all of you will be very activated and inspired because their energy is very vast and expansive. If I know that a few of you can feel their energy already throughout the session, but their energies are very vast and expansive. They really make their presence known. For myself, I've been feeling them even before the session and last night as well. So yeah, so that is one area I'll point out that some of you would notice. It will help some of you to get more, kickstart on the divine guidance much more, to have some confirmation. So another one from from another goddess muse is that they may also even guide you to go running, exercise, go to the movies, go to just let your hair down, she says. She says a lot of you, although you let your hair down, because some of you are saying, you aren't that tight, that tense. And she say yes, but let your hair down more. So just really put down that weight. If, for example, she's saying, if you have been thinking, even when you are at the restaurant, thinking about work, thinking about children, babies, you haven't let the weight down. You haven't let your hair down. And she says that you may have been doing that 24/7 and not really fully aware. So she says she and her sisters will help in this area as well. The other muses say since she's already sated, and anyway, they're saying that they have already been helping it when they were talking with all of you in the first round, actually, to let down your hair. One area they are saying is because of thinking, and the other area is because that some of you may have some non-true attachment to certain things. I have to, for example, I have to finish my work by noon today, but of course it's sometimes essential to be focused, but then if it gets into a habitual pattern of 24/7, 7 days a week, you find yourself keep having that thought or keep fixated on that, then there is some issue going on. So that is what they just want all of you to be aware of. And they're saying let your hair down and really have fun, and that will help also in the area of not being hard on yourself. And they agree with one person saying that. So they're saying, yeah, they're saying, it can be very hard if you're not letting your hair down. It's like you're trying to be so taking all the responsibility 24/7, to restaurant, to eat, even sleeping, and it's going to get very stressed at the end of the day. So they want to remind about this as well. So they have fully finished the activation, activating about all of it, and it will help all of you to open up your hearts, to strengthen the connection, to grow the connection, and nurture yourselves as well. Nurturance, the third one, is included in the activation. They are sharing it with me. So all of you can help to nurture yourselves and grow yourselves much more better when you connect yourself as well. Also, when you wanting to connect to yourselves on a deeper level. So after these, you will find yourself receiving all sorts of divine guidance and intuition, and they want to let you know to go for it, to listen to source and your divine spiritual guides and go for it. And anytime they say you can come back to this video session to listen to them again, to help also to connect with their energy if you need to. The other thing they are sharing is say that one key guidance, the other thing that they want to share is don't lock up your energy, and the best way is that they best way, one way is to put down your hair, so let down your hair. The second way is really to work with source and your divine spiritual family, and really asking for their help in releasing stress, releasing things that's not the best for your highest good away. And divine source and divine spiritual guides will know what to do. So how to best to do it is really you can sit down or you can lay down, however you want to do. Consciously be conscious and aware of it, and you connect with your divine source, divine spirit, and then you ask divine spirit and divine source to call in your highest divine spiritual guides as well, and to ask for this help to release stress, release tension away. That's the best for your highest good. And then trust that divine source and highest divine spiritual guides knows what the best to do. So they will help in the area to help to balance your energy fields, your energy bodies, and really helping to release the negative stress, the tension. And it will help you to do it on a daily basis. So if you want to do it, you can do it now as well. Although the Muses says that they have already helped all of you done it. And if you still feel like that there is stress, that there is tension, I would say take note of what is triggering that, find the cause of it, and then doing the best in actively releasing it. And that will help you locate what is the cause, what's the source, the root that's causing it, and then you can really release it effectively. So the Muses say that that's all for this session, and they are giving each of you a blessing, a gift to each of you. And for the instruments, I hear someone is asking. So the instruments that they have give them blessed each of you, you can activate it with divine source and ask that divine source to activate it. That's the best. in every moment, because each and every moment, I'm seeing that the Muses are saying it will work in its unique ways. So, divine source will know what's the best for you at that moment as well. So each and every moment, just ask divine source to help activate it for you, and the activation will be done. Yeah, for the musical instruments that they have actually blessed each and every one of you, and also as a reminder too. And I'm hearing someone says, "Can we play it?" I'm saying no, not play in a way that in not play. The muses are laughing. They're saying that it isn't an instrument per se. Actually, in the divine realms, even the instruments that they're holding in the pictures, in the videos they're sharing, isn't specifically just for play. Instruments in the divine realms have a whole lot of uses and purposes. And one of the purposes they're sharing is like to ward off evil, to ward off dangers, to protect, to show kindness, and a lot more. It's not just for playing. So that's just one thing that that they will just share with all of you. And they just want all of you to know that they have a lot of fun during this channeling session, healing and activation as well. And they want you all to know that you all they will be really present with all of you, working with you in these areas. And don't forget that don't forget that you really have a beautiful heart, you have a beautiful purpose, and have a beautiful life. And you have so much beauty in you that you really want to contribute, you really want to give, you really want to embrace. But you may not know it at this moment, and it's fine. It may be because you're hard on yourself, and that is okay as well, they're saying. And don't be hard on you. That is the message that all 9 of them want to share with all of you. One of the messages actually in that first round of talking session with all of you, because divine source is saying that some of you wanted to know what was the talk about, and one of the talk is about this. They are very kind, dearly, really kind, gentle maidens, and really wanting to help and guide all of you. And they are saying, hope that all of you grow, blossom on your journey, and always remember that they are always there to work with you. So don't hesitate that. And I'll close the space and the session. And then I will also help to send the energies to each and every one of you, to your divine source, and your divine spiritual guides. And divine source says also to just remind all of you that there will also be it's like after you have this session, you may feel like you have a connection with the muses, and source is saying don't hesitate to talk with them, to ask them for guidance, and so on. They are really there and present for each and every one of you. And I'm going to help with balancing the energy bodies of all of you, and ensure that each and every one of you are grounded as well. And I also suggest that all of you ground after the session. You can go out, be in nature, just ground, because the energies can be pretty huge. So I'm just doing the balancing now. Okay, so everything is done for all of you, and yeah, and the session has been completed. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed this session. I'll see what else that Divine Source you want to add on. Um, yeah, I guess that's all. The other thing is that if you feel that you receiving any guidance or sorts pertaining to the session, pertaining to the healing as well, just follow your heart to work with it. And yeah, I know that all of you really appreciate it for their presence in the session too, and I also really enjoyed it as well. And thank you all for being here. So if you want to connect as well with the Muses, the picture over here in the YouTube video actually is actually a great point of connection. You can actually look at this picture if you want to get back to reconnecting and strengthening the connection with them. So I've activated the picture for all of you as well. So to enable all of you having that activation with connecting with them. So they will be, it will strengthen the communication, the connection with the nine muses in particular. And yeah, so they will know what's the best for all of you. They are actually very, very present all the time. Actually, they were sharing with me just a little history or little information about them. They are very present with each and every soul. Not because that they are really known in words of usage like words like or sayings like what's your muse, but many different things. They actually are very present energetically, spiritual energy, and in dreams, in people's dreams, and so on and so forth. And they say that one thing is that they have been very present in each and every one of your lives, but may not have been very dominant in some of yours, where you will consciously be aware of them. But in some others, they are very conscious. You would know and heard of them and even see them clairvoyantly. So clairvoyantly doesn't mean just psychically seeing them, but also in a way you psychically see them by seeing a physical image, and that is actually them. And they are just saying that not be afraid as well, and just really call on them. They help greatly upon a few things that they really work on a lot. Is really tapping into your intuition as well, and also in particular in your abilities, skills, gifts, and you to your heart. So your creative force, your creative flow flows out. They saying they really help in a lot all these areas. They also help in areas such as history, music, the different things that the picture shows, the nine muses. They help a lot with that. If you do poem writing, all the nine muses they can help. They are very great in poetry, and they are also great also in singing as well. They are I would sometimes hear them sing and dance very often. Actually, they are very present with me, and they will do that a lot. And they not just only sing, but they sing in a very cleansing and healing voice, and they sing in a way to also inspire souls too. And it's very beautiful energy actually they bring, in many different ways. So they want all of you to know that they also can guide all of you how to best artistically show in different ways on how to really, utilize your skills, your powers, your abilities as well in different ways, and using it from the heart. So that's just a short information to share with all of you, and I hope all of you will enjoy this channeling session. So thank you all very much for joining in. If any one of you would want to follow me, you can subscribe me here on YouTube, or you can also follow me on Facebook. So I have a Facebook group page. The name is also Johnny Tamat and Konpoi as well. So you can follow me there on Johnny Tamat and Konpoi too. So thank you all, everyone, for joining in. So bye bye.